And we're live. What is up, guys? It's draft time. We're going to do it again. We mock every week all throughout the year. So we're back and we're going to do a half PPR mock. Still haven't talked to you in a standard, huh? No standard leagues.
Yeah, sorry to you non-PPR people out there, but don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, all three of you are going to be very disappointed. And some people do standard, but that's okay. Look, we do this because number one, we love drafting, and number two, we assume you like watching drafts and participating. Which, by the way, if you're on right now, you can get in and draft with us. We're about to drop the links. You can join and draft, and this helps us to get ready for the season. No, March is not too early to start getting ready because you get ready now and you're prepared when actual draft season comes. It's like second nature, right? You just close your eyes. You already know who you can get round 2, 3, 4, 5. And trust me, it is a huge advantage. And it just makes the whole season a lot more fun when you already know you have a winning team. So let's do it again. Here it is. Join the draft. It is a half PPR, and we're only doing 10 teams because it is still pretty early. We'll get through this one. I think probably pretty quick.
Yeah, we can get through it pretty quick. It's just a matter of how quickly we can fill it.
Got 2 spots left.
2 spots left.
3 and a 9. Oh, there's
all right,
the 9.
One spot left.
Interflux has returned. Got the pick 6. Challenging yourself. I like that. Of course, I didn't give myself. I did the middle last week. I think I was in the middle, stuck in the middle. Give myself the end here. Pick 10. There we go. What's up, Bartermania's in the house?
What's up, Bartermania? All right, looks like we're full. Here we go.
All right, good luck to everyone.
He's truly on the clock. Easy.
No hesitation. We did talk about this last week, I think. CMC number 1. I mean, I don't think you're going to do that automatically every draft, or are you?
In a half PPR format like this, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, and a flex, I probably would just lock in CMC every time.
Probably it is half PPR. Time. Yeah.
In a full PPR 3 wide receiver league, I might take one of the wide receivers in that case. But in a league like this, yeah, I'm just going to lock in CMC.
So last week we did see a lot of running backs early, and it wasn't half PPR, was it? Last week we did regular PPR. I think we saw 6 running backs taken before we saw 6 wide receivers taken. So let's see if it follows that trend. There's Bijan. Now, I say that, and I'm at the end here now. I'm probably not going to get the running back I want.
Probably not. CeeDee Lamb at the 6, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the Sun God there. Now, also, if you guys can see, you can probably see on the screen there in the bottom left, the player pool. Keep in mind, rankings have not been updated in any way. This is basically like last year's ranking. So Austin Eckler will probably not be the number 1 running back taken off the board.
Yeah, he will go much later.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to mix it up. And by that, I mean, I'm actually probably not going to draft DJ Moore. I'm almost surprised JT is still there. I'm going to go JT. And I'm going to do something, again, if it was a different format, I wouldn't probably do. But I'll go double RB here. Even though it's half PPR. I'm okay with Gibbs.
There you go. Nothing wrong with double RB and half PPR, that's for sure.
Right. And, we think of Gibbs more like a pass-catching running back. It's not like he was used just in that role, and especially at the end of the season. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a guy who takes as big of a hit as we might think, and it's only half, but still. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be unfairly labeled as a little bit more of it's like a pass-catching back, just because Monty doesn't catch as many passes.
I agree. I talked about him on I think it was a running backs you need video. I said, by my eyes and by the numbers, he closed the gap on Montgomery significantly, not just in carries, but in carries in the red zone, near the goal line. It wasn't like, I remember early in the season, everybody was complaining because he wasn't getting goal line touches. He wasn't getting many carries. That changed in the second half, and I think we see at least a 50-50 in terms of carries, and we know Gibbs is going to get the majority of the passing work. So, yeah, I like Gibbs a lot next year.
Yeah, and what's the best thing is in any format it helps, but especially if you happen to be half or standard, if you do such a thing, 10 touchdowns for a guy who's a small back, who's a pass catching back, who's a not the goal line back, a change of pace back. I mean, he behind that offensive line, yeah, he could easily. I mean, he got 10 touchdowns despite, early in the year, basically doing a lot of watching Monty in the red zone, watching Monty carry most of the load. So I don't see why he can't get 12 or more this year.
For sure. Definitely.
Ryan missed out. Sorry, it felt quick today. I think we're going to see that more and more. Combine just happened. NFL draft is getting close, a few weeks away. But we'll eventually expand it to 12. All right, you're almost up. I did pass. I guess I could have taken Kyren Williams. You like Kyren Williams over Gibbs or no?
It's close between those two. It's really close. Back to back, neck and neck. JT, Gibbs, Kyren, kind of in that next tier. So you got CMC, Brees, and Bijan. To me, kind of like in a tier of running backs. And then JT, Gibbs, and Kyren in the next tier.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. You can make an argument for any of those guys. All right, you got the turn here. Josh Allen off the board.
Yeah. Do I go? There's one guy I'm going here. I'm just debating on the second guy. Him.
There you go. Nice. Can't hate that at all.
Yeah, the nice thing about getting CMC with your first pick is you don't feel too stressed about your running back situation.
Yeah, that's for sure. You can definitely afford to sit back and wait for a while. I think he qualifies as a hero RB.
Oh yeah, definitely qualifies.
What's up? Rise is in the house. Rise above anything.
What's up?
Yeah, thoughts out. Saying he's had some a tough time lately. Stay in good spirits. Thoughts are with you.
Definitely.
We have had some little bits of news in the NFL lately. Let's talk Etienne because he just got taken. Do you make anything of the, I don't even want to call it news, but the report that they're going to try to ease Etienne's load and Tank might see more work next year?
I mean, kind of the same way I feel about Todd Bowles saying they want to bring in like another running back to help Rachaad White, because in this day and age, you don't really want your running backs, handling like every touch, every carry. So no, I don't think so. I mean, look, Etienne was a guy last year. Like, was he really I don't know. I don't feel like he was a total workhorse. I mean, by today's standards, yes. By today's standards, but I don't feel like he was like, Rachaad White or anything like that, where you just knew he was dominating all the touches. I feel like, they did kind of spread out the touches a little bit. So I'm not too worried about that. Whoa.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It doesn't feel like he was a workhorse, but then you look at the end of the day, he was top 3, I think, in like total rush attempts, something like that. But even if they do, like, how good? Now, I was big on Tank before last season. How much do they really want to give it to him? I mean, he's got to do some major improving.
Exactly.
before he actually carries more of the load. Okay, it's my turn. So let's see.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No, I'm not overly concerned. All right, just for the sake of making him my first wide receiver, Neighbors and Devontae.
There you go. Speaking of Rachaad White.
Yeah, so well. Rise on Snow, where do you think Rachaad White goes in drafts? 4th round seems about right. He just got taken early in the 4th. I took him a couple weeks ago, kind of mid 4th. And now, again, we're doing 10-team drafts, but I feel like that's about right anyways.
Yeah, on Underdog, he's going what, like late 4th, I think, early 5th usually, which I think is probably a bit too low.
Yeah, if I'm remembering right, I think I've seen his ADP at 46 and like 42, something like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will pull the trigger a little earlier, but yeah, round 4 is basically right. No one's taking him as their RB1, but he's a high-end RB2 for the most part.
Which is weird because he was like the RB5 last year, and he was an RB1. He was an RB1 pretty much every week of the season. I don't know what people are like. I don't know why. I guess the worry is maybe Baker won't be back, or maybe. Well, I don't know.
Mike Evans is back. Baker's going to be back. I mean, that's just a formality. I mean, nothing's going to change in that system. Although, yeah, I mean, I don't think anything is really going to change. But Canales is gone. But it's not like, oh, let's put a whole new system in place. It's going to be the same offense.
Right.
They're not drafting running back early. There's no way.
No.
All right, Caleb has a couple of good questions. Let's get to this one. I know you're almost up. Would you trade and get Garrett Wilson and a first-round pick, trade away AJB and Monty?
Yes, 100%. Garrett Wilson and a first? Like,
yeah.
I mean, probably. Like, who do we prefer? Who do we even prefer in Dynasty between Garrett Wilson and AJ Brown?
I'm taking Garrett Wilson.
I think so, right? It's pretty close. Just got sniped.
You got sniped on. Oh, Rashee Rice almost landed in your lap.
But I still like my options here. With the newly re-signed Mike Evans as my wide receiver 3. And then I think at this point in a 10-team league, I'm okay with Kelsey here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's we talked about that the other day. This is about where he should be going. And we feel like it's not too early. Almost getting a good value there.
Yeah. So anyways, back to Caleb's question. I think, I probably do prefer Garrett Wilson to AJ Brown. And then you're getting a first for David Montgomery, basically. Yeah, you gotta take the Garrett Wilson first round pick side, I think.
Yeah, I think easily, because if you ask me just straight up in redraft right now, who do I prefer, Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown? It's almost a toss up. You talk Dynasty. Right. Let's give the fact that Garrett Wilson has a 3-year advantage on AJ Brown. And then you get basically a first-round pick for a running back who's in a committee. Yeah, if you're getting Garrett Wilson the first-round pick, I'd do that easily. This one maybe not so easy. Would you try to buy low on Tyler Lockett and Damian Harris?
Those aren't guys I'm buying low on. Like, there's some buy lows.
Okay, not Damian Harris, Damian Pierce.
Okay, I mean that's a little better. But those aren't guys I really want to buy low on. I do have Tyler Lockett in one Dynasty league. I would happily trade him. Not that I think Tyler Lockett will be bad this year or anything, but you're talking about what? He's going to be 31, 32 years old now. JSN entering year 2. And Dameon Pierce, I mean, he was so. Let's not forget that Dameon Pierce was not a fantastic prospect. He was a 5th-round pick. He didn't look very good last year. Got to think they may address running back in free agency with Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, somebody like that. Those aren't guys I'm trying to buy low on personally. No, like if I got them, I'll hold them, but I'm not necessarily trying to buy low on them.
Right. What about this? Got a lot of dynasty questions here. Tyjae Spears, and would you trade Aaron Jones to get him?
Ooh, I want to just say yes, but I think it comes down to your team this year. Like if you're a team capable of making a strong run this year, and let's say if you trade Aaron Jones, you're running for Tyjae Spears. If your running back 2 is either Tyjae Spears or, let's just say something extreme like Tank Dell or somebody like that, you're going to be in a world of hurt if Tyjae Spears isn't the guy for whatever reason, whether it's because Derrick Henry comes back or they sign a different running back or they draft one, whatever it is. So, oh man, that was tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's the knee-jerk reaction is to say, yeah, get the younger running back. But
Right.
I'm in enough on Spears. I would take the plunge because if you can deal away, I even hate to say aging running back, but running back years are like dog years times 2. Running back years, he's pretty old and he's had some injuries. So I would take the chance. Yeah, if you're going straight up 1-for-1, I would do it. I would take Spears, take the chance. Yeah, I'm sold on Spears after last year. All right, let's do
Well,
one more.
I see we've talked Stephon Diggs down quite a bit in the 6th round.
Look, he was right there on the board, and I just passed over him. So I did want to kind of put together Flowers and Lamar, but yeah, it's working. All right, one more.
I think even I would have to draft Stephon Diggs in round 6.
Trade away Kamara, Godwin, and Duncan Robinson of the Miami Heat.
What?
We're guessing DeMarcus Robinson.
Okay.
Kamara, Godwin, Robinson got Kelsey Metcalf in a first.
Kamara, Godwin, and DeMarcus Robinson get Kelsey Metcalf. Yeah, give me the Metcalf in the first. Kamara, aging running back. Yeah, and then Godwin. Yeah, definitely give me the Kelsey Metcalf in first.
Sounds like you're making some good deals, Caleb. You got some steals here. So no wonder you got back-to-back championships. All right. You're up.
I'm up, and I'm once again going to get Derrick Henry as my RB2.
Can't get enough.
And I think this is also just, man, this is. How are these guys still on the board? I don't even know which one to take. Flip a coin. I guess DK Metcalf? How is DK Metcalf still on the board in round 7?
Been watching the videos.
I guess. I mean,
yeah, there comes a point, right? You just have to pull the trigger.
Yes.
But I think
there's somebody still on the
board. You can be off a guy, and I mean you personally, there's almost nobody that to you is just completely undraftable, because there comes a point where you're like, I'm going to take the value. You can not love a guy where he's typically drafted, but then you're not just going to not draft him for the sake of not drafting.
I mean, there Cooper Kupp was the other one. How is Cooper Kupp going this late? There are some guys that are definitely undraftable to me, but DK Metcalf is not one.
No,
nor is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, there's still some players I'm surprised haven't been drafted. I don't know if I can get myself to draft, but we'll see. And what I'm talking about. There's some running backs, some veteran running backs are just there. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
DJ Moore is not going to be a steal this year, and I will take him in the second round if he's available.
Yeah, those days are over.
All right, let's talk buzz. We like the rumor mill. Cousins going to the Falcons potentially. Vikings already talking. Well, not that they are, but people are talking about the Vikings moving on in a lot of ways. All right. What do you think? Cousins going to the Falcons if it happens?
I think it's great. I think it's great for Cousins. It's great for the Falcons. It's great. I think if you watched my predicting free agency video, that's where I said I think he's going to wind up is with the Falcons. It just makes a lot of sense. So I think it'd be fantastic in every way.
You in on? I mean, Drake London seems obvious. Kyle Pitts too.
Yeah, I think you have to be in on Kyle Pitts. Yes, I think you have to be in on that whole offense, don't you?
I don't see why you wouldn't. They basically come out and said, all we needed was a quarterback. Like, that's just quarterback away. I mean, he's definitely solid. Yeah, you have to be. And Cousins is not the type of guy who's going to come in and just manage the game and hand it off a ton. They're going to throw it.
No, I mean, look at last year before he got hurt. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, they were all doing great. There's definitely a path for Drake London and Kyle Pitts to be great, and Bijan Robinson to also be great if it's Kirk Cousins, for sure.
We'll see, though. Rumors, a lot of them right now.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, a lot of guys falling so far in this draft. I feel like, again, I don't love Calvin really, but at the 7-10, I know it's a 10-team draft, but yeah, I'll take that discount.
Definitely.
All right, here go the veteran running backs: Swift and Chubb and Kamara. At what stage would you actually feel comfortable taking Nick Chubb? We're like, okay, fine, I can't let him fall that far.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Nick Chubb is a guy I'm not drafting. I'm just not going to draft him.
Period.
He had the worst possible knee injury you can have. Like everything, right? The whole knee. He didn't even have ACL surgery until November 23rd. Because remember, his knee was so messed up that he had to have a first surgery before they could even do ACL surgery. He's 28 years old. And unlike Breece Hall last year, who, if you drafted Breece Hall, congratulations, he saved you with all his little, chintzy little dump offs that he got. Nick Chubb doesn't have that. Nick Chubb's not going to have the benefit of that.
No.
So I can't do it. Look, I hope Nick Chubb comes back and plays well, but man, it's too risky for me. There goes
Eckler. To worry about Austin Eckler. He just got taken. had him queued up.
Yeah, there's some. I was hoping to get Richardson. How many people? QB. There's only 2 of us without a QB. All right, I guess I'll wait on QB. Although this does feel like. Actually, no, I won't wait. This just feels like too good a value for Stroud.
There you go. I mean, still a couple of good options left. I mean, I don't know if you consider Trevor Lawrence a good option after last year, but he is at least startable. Dak is still just out there, so it looks like Miguel is just going to get to chill and wait and take Dak in his last pick.
Always a nice feeling. Always a good thing.
Yeah, it's funny how year after year after year, Dak is always like an afterthought, and he's always a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, it's because people like, he chokes in the playoffs or whatever. It's like, okay,
Don't matter.
Don't draft him in your football playoff, your fantasy football playoffs league, but draft him in your regular season league.
Yeah. This is where you're projecting Derrick Henry to Dallas.
I mean, I'm just projecting Derrick Henry somewhere decent where he can just be an okay RB2. Oh, Derrick Henry to Dallas. Yeah, that's what well, you got to wait because when does free agency start? March 13th, I think.
Pretty soon. We're getting there. About a week.
So right now teams can only sign their own players, right? So you can only sign like what we saw with Mike Evans.
Yeah, there was some.
Yeah, March 13th. Yes, begins at 1:00 Pacific, March 13th. So,
and today, what I saw, Tony Pollard is, he's willing to take a discount to stay in Dallas. So maybe it kind of seems like Cowboys get to choose if they want to keep him or not. But I saw something a week ago is like, yeah, they're not going to go out and spend money on a running back. They might just draft one later. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to how much, like, obviously, I think it probably comes down to how much money does Derrick Henry or any of these free agent running backs, what are they looking for?
All right. Don't know, but let's just assume Josh Jacobs doesn't come back. There you go. Eminem, 17. Wants to know what's the best round to choose a QB?
I mean, that's hard to say. I think the best round to choose a QB is when the value is there. So, like in this case, Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, like the value is there for those guys. I don't want to reach on a QB. The third round is when I'll consider Josh Allen. Then maybe in the fourth, I'll consider the other guys, but it really also depends on who's still on the board. So for me, it's just more about when I feel like the QB value is there, like CJ Stroud in the 9th.
Yeah, I'll say 9 out of 10 times. I'm not taking a quarterback before like round 5. I'm almost never going to be the first to take a quarterback. Unless just everybody is waiting and waiting and waiting. But I probably would just keep waiting. If like nobody's driving quarterbacks, okay, we're not doing it. I'll keep waiting too because I know someone's going to be good there. It's not like there's 3 elite quarterbacks and then a big drop off. I think there's enough, and I even say that if you're in a league which has pretty savvy players, hopefully, and people aren't drafting multiple quarterbacks, especially early. you should be able to wait. And even if you're the last to take your starting quarterback, you should be able to get somebody who's perfectly fine. I mean, look right now, because only one person doesn't have a quarterback, right?
Yep.
Okay. Dak Prescott still on the board. We talked about him. Tua still on the board. Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, in wherever, Minnesota again, who could be one of the top passers, still on the board. Okay, you don't want him. Fine. Trevor Lawrence, not the most exciting, but he's fine. I mean, there's plenty of choices. Oh, and we haven't even talked about Kyler Murray is still on the board. I'm fine being the last to take the quarterback because there's still plenty of guys that can be starters, and you can just set and forget, right? All year long, you don't have to worry about backup. So the best round, it's hard to say. It depends on how your league goes. If everyone's going quarterback crazy, which we've seen happen, I mean, then I guess you can't wait too late, because I do that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'll keep waiting. And then I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I should take a quarterback because now I got Geno Smith as my starter because everyone else has two quarterbacks and I waited too long. But I think I would say this, maybe not round, but range. I'm okay taking a quarterback between like the QB 10 to QB 13 range. Oh, good question. All right, we'll put that up in a second. So taking a shot on Chandler. I think he's the guy now with Madison out.
He's a guy for now. We'll see.
Interflex wants to know, going to do any 2 QB or Superflex?
Yes, we have done this in the past. It doesn't always work well because the problem is not everybody understands like how to value quarterbacks in 2 QB Superflex, and what happens is we get these drafts and you're getting CJ Stroud in the second round in a Superflex draft or 2 QB or something, right? Or you know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute, why are these quarterbacks still on the board? So yeah. Maybe when we do Dynasty, we do.
Yes, Superflex, but also there's something weird, right, with the rankings. And I know we love Sleeper, which is why we always use it. And all of our leagues, every single one of our fancy leagues are on Sleeper. Obviously, we use it for our mocks, and it's a great platform. Just the only thing is the rankings sometimes are a little screwy, and I feel like when we do the Superflex, even though you say Superflex, it does something weird, right, with the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you know your stuff. You should kind of know who to look for and where, but it's easy for a guy to get buried and you forget about him, right? So you just scroll down and you're scrolling down like 3 pages and you're like, oh, wait, there's Jordan Love. Yeah, I forgot he existed. And then, he's just there for you in round 5 of a Superflex or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
More QB talk. JJ McCarthy. You're a semi sort of you are basically a Michigan fan, right? You're a Michigan fan.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be like Lamar. He's not nearly the athlete of Lamar. He's a sneaky athletic guy. He's like Daniel Jones type, right? He's like sneaky athletic, but he's not like Lamar. No. I don't know. I think he's a guy that would benefit from going to a team that doesn't need him to start right away. I think he's a guy I would like to see him have a year under his belt. Will he get that opportunity? I don't know.
Yeah, he's one of the quarterbacks where I think landing spot does matter more. All right, so I'm taking one of your guys.
That's fine. I don't even know if I can draft another wide receiver.
Dallas wants to know, does Underdog have free mock drafts? Not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But Underdog does have really low entry point drafts. I mean, you can draft typically for $5, $10. Right now, there's not that many NFL contests because, of course, not much going on. But the one we did yesterday, was it yesterday? I think we did one yesterday.
Sunday.
No, I did a baseball one yesterday. The one that we've been doing, we did one a couple of days ago. $10, right? $10 for the big board.
For the big board, but you can do. I mean, if you just want to do like with your friends,
true.
They have like $3 drafts, and you can do private ones.
Yeah, that's right. You can do just to get the practice in. You can create your own. So it's really easy. All right, Ryan wants to know, more QB talk. Hurts.
Okay.
Does Jason Kelce being gone actually make a difference next year? Does the tush push depend on Jason Kelce?
I mean, Jason Kelce was a big part of it, but I think they'll still be okay. And I think Jalen Hurts, like the tush push, is a little, like when people talk about that, like being like a huge part of his value, and sure it is, but I don't think they're going to stop doing it. But if you look at Jalen Hurts, if you look at where it's okay, right here is rushing. In the 3 years since he's been the starter, he had 10 touchdowns in 15 games, 13 touchdowns in 15 games, and 15 touchdowns in 17 games. I don't think. Remember, in 2021, when he had 10 touchdowns rushing, they weren't using the tush push. There was no tush push. Like, he still put up 10 touchdowns in 15 games. Just rushing, but that's just rushing. I think if anything, I think when you look at Jalen Hurts last year, I'm surprised we haven't heard anything. He did not look 100% to me. Like, I feel like he was not running as much. They were still doing the tush push, but he wasn't like running and getting out of the pocket as much. I think we see more of that. I'm not too worried about Jalen Hurts.
No, he will still run for plenty of touchdowns. So not worried either. They'll still do it. And also remember last year, a big deal was the offensive coordinator, right? Big change. They lost both their coordinators because they became head coaches. Just wasn't working on offense early in the season, especially. And so they're making a change again. So I'm not worried remotely about Jalen Hurts either. Maybe you take Lamar over him. That's fine. But I still go with Hurts. So yeah, that's what we were just talking about, Dallas. All right. And I see what you did. Didn't get by me. You took my boy. That's fine. That's retribution for me taking AD Mitchell, maybe. I don't know. All right. Bucky it is.
Bucky. He's a tough one for me.
Right. Yeah, and this is just criminal. This is what I'm talking about with quarterback. Tua just out there. Now, obviously, this is a mock, and this is only 10 team, and, we're not drafting backups, but also, there should be a couple more quarterbacks taken. But is Tua not a top 10 quarterback?
He's not being drafted like one. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. You can wait on quarterback. You can. But Brock Purdy could be your starter. Okay.
I mean, Kyler Murray didn't even get drafted.
You're right. Yeah, this is exactly why I'm never going to be an early QB drafter for the most part. I drafted one kind of early this draft, and I guess I shouldn't have. But oh well. Let's go to you first because your team won. Let's break these down, see how it turned out. You went Hero RB because CMC was right there for you at the 1.1. Nico, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Mike Evans, then Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry again, DK Metcalf, Jaden Reed, CJ Stroud, and then you went with Chandler Brown, Jalen Wright, and of course the future legend Frank Gore Jr. I like the upside there at the end. If you're going to take running backs late, those are the type of guys to take. Yeah, nice and balanced as all things should be.
Yeah.
You
Go
feel
get it.
like if Derrick Henry eventually breaks down or lands in a bad spot, like those guys you're going to count on, or you're just like, this is how I'm going to draft if I have CMC early. I'm going to take chances on guys, and if not, I just play the waiver wire.
Exactly. I did consider Pacheco where I took Kelsey, but I felt like having that set and forget tight end in a 10-team league especially is a nice thing. So I just went with the tight end there. Yeah, I feel like I can find RB2s on the waiver wire in a 10-team league.
There you go. Evans still a good value late in round 4. I think that's a nice pick, and Harrison gonna like that pick. All right. Dylan went with Justin Jefferson, Josh Allen in round 2, Etienne, Rice, Keenan, Connor, Monty, Eckler, Ingram, Brian Thomas, Hawkinson, Worthy, and Dak. I feel like the running back core is, I won't say too old, but you feel like it's solid enough.
It's solid. I think that's how I would define the running back core as solid. It's kind of how I feel about this team in general. Like this team doesn't jump out at like tremendous upside team, but it's solid.
Yeah, I mean the Hawkinson pick is not necessary. You got Ingram, who's fine, and I'm not drafting Hawkinson. I don't see any need to. So you could take another receiver there. Same thing. If you have Josh Allen, you don't need a backup quarterback. So Dak was a great value there, but you just didn't need him. It's just funny how Austin Eckler is an RB4. Like, yeah, but we'll see. I mean, that could pay off huge. Who knows?
It could. It could.
All right, and team 3 is Miguel. He went Tyreek Hill, Olave, T. Higgins, and then Ramondre McLaurin, Christian Kirk. It's a pretty nice receiver core there. Pollard, Javonte, Pitts, Mostert, Rashawn, Lawrence, and QJ.
Yeah, love the receivers. Great receiver room. Running backs are okay. Obviously, like Pollard potentially could be a steal there. Javonte could be good. I mean, you got some potential at running back. Again, Trevor Lawrence in the 12th is fine, but I would have much preferred somebody with more upside like Dak or Kyler Murray. But overall, I think it's a strong team.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is if this were a full PPR and like 3 receiver, 1 flex league, this would be a little stronger. In half, it's still fine, but yeah, I mean Pollard as a 7th round pick as your RB2 should still be fine. All right, team 4 NMB, Chase, Achane, Ayuk, Mark Andrews, Pacheco, Tyjae Spears, Cup, Richardson, Pickens, Benson, Keon Coleman, Jacoby Myers, and Josh Downs.
Yeah, now this team has a bunch of upside. I mean, Chase, Achane, Ayuk, Andrews at tight end, Pacheco and Spears.
Yep.
Cup in the 7th. How has Cup fallen to the 7th? What's going on there? Anthony Richardson in the 8th, Pickens in the 9th. Yeah, this team has tremendous upside. I like it.
Yes, definitely a lot of upside. I do like it too. Yeah, I mean Spears we talked about could break out as your RB3. That's very nice. Cup was a great value. Yeah, I like that team a lot. All right, the other John, what is up? Bijan and Barkley, Waddle, Devontae, Cooper, Najee, Fields, and then Hopkins, Herbert, Lockett, Jake Ferguson, Chuba, and Leggett.
Yeah, again, I think this is another good, solid team. I'm like Bijan and Barkley should be great. I like the 3 wide receivers you got with them. Najee, Hopkins, Herbert, Lockett. Like, there's some guys on your bench that I think are like solid, but not crazy. But that's okay. I think this team in this format, I think should do just fine.
Yeah, in this format, I think it's really good roster build. I like Fields. I like Fields there too. Yeah, very nice. I mean, going from the middle, it's a good build. Interflux. Went with CeeDee Lamb, Kyron Williams, Pittman, Debo, Jacobs. You feel like Jacobs fell too far in the 5th round, or is that fine?
Yeah, I don't think Jacobs should be going that late, but that's kind of where he's going right now because he wasn't great last year and didn't finish the season. It doesn't have a team, but I think that's great value.
Now he's saying he wanted Tank instead of Debo, but yeah, Mixie Madden got him first. It's all right. Herbert, Kittle, Chubb, Godwin, Brooks, Franklin, Purdy, and we have a believer. Michael Thomas.
MT believer.
Still being
all right. Other than the MT pick, I'd just say like I'm not completely off Justin Herbert this year, but I just think with the way quarterback is, you don't need to take a guy like Herbert that early. But I love those first 5 picks. I think it's great. I think the kill pick is fine. I think every other pick is fine. I mean, I would have been just okay with you just having Brock Purdy in the 12th as your QB1. So yeah, other than the Herbert pick, I really like this team, and the MT pick, of course.
Agree. And we talked a lot of quarterback. And I mean, not just the fact there were so many good quarterbacks available late, but also, I'm kind of off Herbert this year. But besides that, again, it's not like it's hurting your team. He's a very solid quarterback. So well done. Yeah, the Chubb pick. Okay, whatever. We can get over that. Then we got the Brown Mamba at team 7. Went Sun God, DJ Moore, Laporta, and London. I like that. Mahomes. Kenneth Walker was the first RB. DeAndre Swift and Corum were the next 2, and then Kendra Miller and Eli Mitchell with Adunze Dobbs and Jordan Love backing him up at quarterback.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how I feel about this team. I mean, St. Brown, DJ Moore is great. Laporta in the 3rd is fine. Drake London, Mahomes, I like that. I'm fine with Kenneth Walker there. I'm just wondering if I would have liked this team a little more if maybe you had like Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Brian Robinson instead of Swift, but we'll see where Swift ends up. Running back certainly going to be dicey here, but it's a 10-teamer. Work the waiver wire, I guess.
Yeah, I think I agree. Swift is really a big unknown. I think he could be fine, but like you said, instead of Odunze, maybe Aaron Jones would make me feel better.
Right.
About the running back room. I do like Corum, that, but yeah, overall it's pretty good though. All right, then we got Mixie Madden, took Breece Hall, Puka, Jalen Hurts, Tank Dell, McBride. Again, I keep missing on McBride. I thought I was going to get him in this draft, but I did not. Diggs in round 6. I mean, is that steal of the draft?
I don't know if it's the steal of the draft because, I mean, I got DK in the 7th and NMB got Cup in the 7th, but it's definitely a steal.
Yeah, a lot of veterans fell here, understandably. Aaron Jones, Kamara, JSN. I like that pick too. Jalen Warren, Bowers, McConkey, and Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah, I like this team a lot, honestly. A lot of good value. I mean, Breece Hall, that's good value. Puka, that's good value. Hurts fine there. Tank, good value. McBride, good value. Diggs, great value. And I'm even okay with those running backs you took. I mean, JSN, good value. I don't know if you needed Bowers with McBride, but it's okay. So, yeah, I think this is a great team. Great team. Well done.
Yeah, I agree. And this is an example where even taking a QB early didn't affect the build too much. Still got good values later. Lovey Bear is number 9. AJB and Garrett Wilson. Talk about them. Burrow in the 3rd. I think that's the first time we've seen that. Too aggressive.
Yeah, that was a pretty surprising pick to me when it happened. I don't, because again, especially when you look at the way drafts are going, like, or at least these drafts are going. When you got Lamar in the 5th, Mahomes in the 5th, right? Richardson in the 8th, Stroud in the 9th. You really don't need to be taking Burrow in the 3rd.
Yeah, I feel like you could have taken him. I mean, definitely later at I think the 6th round, probably even later. All right, but anyways, there's Rachaad White, James Cook, Addison Mixon, Watson, Mike Williams, Charbonnet, Jerome Ford, Jameson Williams, and then Dalton Schultz. That's nice getting your starting tight end in the last round, and he did just re-up with Houston.
Yep, he did, so you should feel good about that. Yeah, other than that Burrow pick, I think this team is pretty solid. I mean, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Rachaad White, James Cook, that's solid. You got Addison, Mixon, Watson, Mike Williams. We'll see about him. Charbonnet, Ford, Jameson. I think really other than the Burrow pick, this is a very good team.
Yep, I agree with that. And then I went double RB, JT and Gibbs. Neighbors, Devontae Smith and Zay Flowers and Ridley. Lamar is my quarterback. Kincaid is my tight end. Got Brian Robinson, Zamir White, my 2 favorites. Hollywood, who I can't seem to stop taking for some reason. I just feel like he keeps falling too far. Yeah. A.D. Mitchell and Bucky Irving.
Yeah, that's a great team. I mean, 2 stud running backs, 4 very good wide receivers, all with upside. You got Lamar, you got an elite quarterback, you got a strong tight end, and you got good players on your bench. I agree. I get that Hollywood Brown might not be with the Cardinals, and I get that he wasn't great last year, but the 11th round, yeah, steal.
Yeah, he's still pretty young, and like I say, he was just hurt a lot last year. It's not like he was bad or anything. And let's not forget that at the beginning of the year, he was without Kyler Murray. So yeah, I think he's still a good value, but we'll see. A lot of values to be had right now before free agency. About this time next week, free agency will almost be underway when we draft again. Maybe it already will be. We'll see. But we'll do it again, and we do it again because we love drafting, and it's good. It's a good practice. You can join in with us if you get in. Hit notifications so you know as soon as we go live. And of course, we're doing those underdog drafts as well. If you want to draft for real, get some best ball teams in there, and chance to win money. Take advantage of those values right now. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. We'll do it again, and check out all the videos we still got coming out every single week.